Hi Year 4! Well, welcome back to week 5 of art. First of all, let's just think about what we might need today. So, you will need your coloured papers that you made last week, PVA glue, you will need some card, doesn't really matter what colour, I tend to go for black, but it doesn't actually matter what colour card you use at all, even a piece of sugar paper will be fine. It needs to be about A3 size, the card or paper that you're using today though. If last week you found you couldn't do your coloured papers because you didn't have oil pastels or crayons and you didn't have watercolour paints, and if you're waiting for an art pack to come, then please be assured they are ordered, and when the supplies arrive I just need to make the packs up. So I'm hoping that they will be ready to be picked up on the first Monday after half term. I'll make sure parents know when it's okay to pick up the packs. So if you haven't got the things, you could wait until you get your pack and then start by making the coloured papers, because we really need those to start our work. If you haven't got the ability to make the coloured papers like we did last week, and you really want to carry on this week, then all you need to do is find some interesting, maybe wrapping papers, coloured papers that you can find that are already coloured. So first of all, I want to say well done everybody. You are a star for your work last week. Thank you so much to everybody who took part in art last week and who sent me their work. Let's have a look at a couple of people's examples to inspire us and to celebrate what they've done. So first of all, I just want to say well done to Emily. I absolutely love how you have collaged your face and distorted it like Francis Bacon. We can still tell it's you because of your beautiful eyes in the middle, but I just want to say well done for the way that you have collaged this. It looks great. Also, well done to Samuel for some extra artwork that he has done. I love these patterns that you've been creating. Now, when I first looked at them, I thought you were doing Zentangle patterns, but I think on a closer look, you've actually drawn Rangoli patterns like we did in year 3. These are beautiful, and with Zentangle and Rangoli, they start from a central point and then emanate their way outwards. So well done, Samuel. I love the way you've drawn them. And just as an encouragement to everyone else, if you wanted to draw patterns like this, they're a great way to practice mindfulness, where you're concentrating on one small part of drawing and drawing slowly, concentrating on what you're doing and forgetting about everything else that's around you. Sometimes this can be a great way of getting rid of a bit of stress and just focusing on this moment. So Samuel, well done. I love what you've done there. Also, we've got some extra artwork from Alison. I think Alison has looked at one of the bonus art videos on the YouTube channel, and I love how you've done some negative and positive stencil printing using leaves. I love how we can see some of the hollowed out shapes and some of the filled in shapes, and the way they are layered on top of one another. Beautiful colours, lovely contrasting warm and cold colours, and I just think your work is beautiful. Well done. Alison has also done some extra art based on an artist called Jim Dines, and I love the way you've used pastels and blended them together in the middle, the oil pastels, and then you've used paint around the outside. Fantastic work, Alison. Now, Jim Dines is actually a pop artist, and that leads perfectly into what we're going to be doing today, because today we're going to look at another artist who is a pop artist. Let's have a look. His name is Andy Warhol. Let's say it together. Andy Warhol. He was an American artist who was a leading figure in the visual art movement known as pop art. He was born on August the 6th, 1928 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania in America. And he died on February the 22nd, 1987 in New York City in the United States. Now, he's actually very famous for his life in New York because as a pop artist, his art was very popular, and he mixed with a lot of celebrities and a lot of musicians, and he actually based a lot of his artwork on the musicians who were around New York at the time, and he's famous for the parties that he used to have with them as well. And actually we could say that Andy Warhol is responsible for increasing the fame of quite a lot of musicians who were around at the time because of the way he portrayed them in his art. You may not know his name, but I'm sure you will recognize lots of his images. So let's have a look at just some of his prolific work. Now, I don't know if you recognize the lady in this picture, but her name was Marilyn Monroe, and she was regarded as one of the most beautiful women. So Andy Warhol decided to use her image in his work. He had a method called screen printing, which enabled him to use the same image over and over again in his so that it looked the same, but he could change the colors. So lots of his work have these repeated images in that are different colors. Now, as we have a quick look at some of his work, just keep in your mind some of the things you notice about it. This is another beautiful woman. I think she's one of the most beautiful women I've ever seen, and her name is Debbie Harry, or Blondie, and she was the lead singer of a famous band in the 80s. This lady, this is our Queen, Queen Elizabeth, when she was much younger. A banana, rather different. Before we talk about this, just have a think. Who do you think this person is in the picture? Tell your partner. Okay, now I am predicting that some of you will have thought that this was Harry Potter, because every time I bring this picture into a class, that's what people say, because now his little round glasses are synonymous with Harry Potter. However, this is not Harry Potter. Mums and dads, who is it? Yes, it's John Lennon, who was the lead singer of a very popular band called the Beatles. Some cans of soup. Whatever next? Warhol said, "The world fascinates me." We can see that, can't we? He had pictures ranging from portraits of people to bananas to cans of soup. Everything has its beauty, but not everyone sees it. So he clearly thought there was some beauty even in a can of soup. Now talk to your partner. I want you to talk about what type of things did you notice in Andy Warhol's work? Okay, I'm expecting that you've had time to discuss that. And I imagine that we would have said, as we looked through, we noticed that his work was very colourful, bright, high colours, weren't there? Vibrant colours in his work. And lots of repeated images on some of the pictures, like we said, because he used a printing method. And also, I think we would say, wouldn't we, that a lot of those colours were so bright, they weren't natural colours, but they were interesting. If we quickly flick back to this one of Marilyn Monroe, we can see that the colours are so bright, but they are not normal. It's not to say that she definitely had pink hair at any stage, but he decided to use whatever colours he liked, whatever vibrant colours he liked, to make his pictures come alive. And as we've said, his work was very popular. So let's just get back to where we were. We are going to use the colourful, slightly unrealistic element of Warhol's work as an influence for our next piece of work. We're going to begin with collage, but we are going to use mixed media from now into the next half term, and we are going to create Warhol Animal Faces. So what I need you to do is decide which animal you are going to focus on out of this choice that is coming up. Make either an owl, or we could choose, Oh, look at his little eyes. Or we could choose cat. They are the three basic options: an owl, a dog, or a cat. Now, in previous years, we've had some people that are absolutely obsessed by different animals. So I've included two more choices. You could do a wolf or a lion, because a wolf is a bit like a dog and a lion is a bit like a cat. So decide now, which one are you going to choose out of those options? Tell your partner. I think I'm probably going to do an owl, but then again, I like the idea of a cat. So we have to make our decision. I think I'll go for an owl. We need to start by making a collaged background that radiates from the nose point of our animal. Now that's pretty much in the middle, but if you look at my nose, it's not quite in the middle. The middle's probably about here maybe, so my nose is a bit further down. And if you think of an animal's snout, it might be a bit longer, especially if you're doing a dog. So you need to think where the middle point is on your picture. If I use the mouse here, they've got the middle there, but perhaps here, slightly closer to the bottom, might be a better place for your middle. Now it's really, really important that you know where the middle is, because everything is going to radiate out like from the spokes, like the spokes of a wheel, from the hub of the wheel, radiate out from this point, like the rays of the sun. Okay, now we're going to tear up the papers we made last week to do this, to make the start of our animal. So I'll show you how to do it.